Okay, we are live on YouTube.
All
Yay!
right. Hey, hey.
Good morning. So we are beginning our quarantine convention for beauty industry with Belcher.
Good morning.
Hey, so you guys, if you would like to post comments over here, please make sure that you post them on the group. I do not monitor the chats over here. We're gonna be streaming on different platforms, so I'm not gonna have the ability to watch all the comments. So if you have any question for Mr. Perry, just make sure that you're using the group that is gonna be posted on the description. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I guess great as you can be doing in the quarantine situation, right? I'm doing pretty well.
I'm really excited to have this with you guys. So I brought Perry. He's one of the best marketers that I've ever met in my life. He has built a tons of business before on different industries, survival especially. I think that's like a great topic to talk about over
That's what
here.
I'm going to talk about. Yeah.
Yes. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how we can help all the beauticians to survive and thrive on this period?
Sure. Yeah. So my name is Perry Belcher. I'm an investor now. I've been a marketer for a lot of years. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I've never actually had a job. A little like Irina. I don't know if you ever had a job, Irina, but I've never actually had a job. Uh, I started my first business when I was 14 years old, and I'm a little over 14 now. But it's been a while. So so far, I think last year I exited 4 businesses, all multi-million dollar businesses. Um, I'm kind of matured in my career where I buy businesses, fix them, and sell them later. That's kind of my modus operandi. Somebody's calling me on Facebook. Let me turn this off. Okay. Okay. Sorry for the difficulty. I want to mute that out because it gets loud. Anyhow, so I've been in business now through 3 downturns, and I've been talking to people a lot about the difference in running your business in a downturn and running it in an upturn. We've all been a lot of people, since there's been like an 8-year bull market. A lot of people that are in business right now have never been in business when things were bad. They've never had to suffer through it. They've never had to go through a total downturn. I've done 3 now. I did 1987, 88 downturn with Black Monday. I did the 2001, the 2001 9/11 downturn. I did the 2008 downturn, and now this one. The crazy thing is, of all the businesses that I've owned and built over time, and I have 11 right now, the biggest businesses I've ever built have all been built immediately following a downturn. So their opportunity creates itself during these downturns, and people pivot, people freeze. A lot of people get frozen. That's the biggest challenge that I see. The biggest problem I see with most of my clients or private clients I talk to right now, they're just freaked out. They're gonna freeze. Some of them are gonna freeze and they're gonna do nothing, and that gives you, or that gives more aggressive people, the opportunity to zoom past them. Speaking of Zoom, right? So GoToWebinar was the total leader of the webinar space for years and years and years. Join Me, a bunch of others popped up. Zoom is relatively new, but they grabbed hold of this crisis instantly and they gave Zoom away to tons of school teachers. They got a lot of press. And now during this crisis, Zoom is zooming past all the competition, and people won't do meetings anymore. They'll do Zooms. So it's a great example of somebody who's taking advantage of um, this particular crisis to get ahead. And as Irina said, I own Survival Life, which is the biggest emergency preparedness community in the world now. It's one of my businesses that I have, and it's let me understand how people think in a time of crisis and survival, and how survivalists think, and people who are not just survival of a tornado or a pandemic, but survival of a divorce, a death of a spouse, a death of a child, any sort of separation, a loss of a career. People go into survival mode, right? So what does that really mean? They really do 4 things, and I'm gonna try to tell you on this call how you guys can take advantage is a hard word, but position yourself to be in front of those 4 changes. Because someone called me the other day and they said, "Hey, are you still in the survival niche?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, it's not really a niche anymore, is it? Everybody's in survival mode right now." So the 4 things people do in survival mode is they hold on. They want to hold on to all the money that they have as tightly as they can, and all the assets they have as tightly as they can, because they're afraid if they spend money that that's going to somehow hurt them. And by and large, that's true. You need to get your expenses down to the lowest level possible so that you can have the longest ramp to correct and pivot your business to the next level. However, there are certain things you shouldn't skimp on, and I'll talk about those in just a second, especially when there are deals in the market. So they want to hold on. Secondly, they want to stock up. They want to get prepared for whatever may come. You've been doing it with water and groceries and toilet paper, if you're lucky enough to get toilet paper or green lettuce, or whatever the things that I think in California right now, lettuce is actually worth more per leaf than cash, because they're all rabbit eaters out there. I swear, I don't know how to eat like rabbits. But anyway, they stock up, right? So things right now, I'm stocking up on great employees. So while people are laying off people, I'm cherry picking their best people and stocking up the best team that I can have. I'm stocking up on training for me and my employees. So I'm buying trainings right now. A lot of people are running training at really low rates right now. You can learn a lot of stuff now for less than you could before, because everybody's responding to the crisis. So if you've got time right now, you really got to think about where you're going to invest your time, not just your money. So training's one place. They want a backup plan. So like, for instance, a lot of you guys in the beauty industry, you're going to go back to your businesses. You may be a service provider, you may be a product provider, I don't know, but you're going to go back to your businesses largely to find that you're behind the 8 ball a little bit, and that you're and that the core business that you had may not be as good as it was when you left it. Chances are it won't be for a while anyway. So you're going to have some real advantages though. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and she was like, I'm not going to get on camera because my damn eyelash lady's closed and I haven't been to her in the last 3 weeks and I look like a haint. So I'm not going to get on camera. So as soon as businesses open back up, there's going to be a huge backlog of people that need them right now. Which is still going to be most people, 70-80% of people are still going to be working. They're getting paid right now with no outlet to spend that money, except for maybe some online shopping. And they're probably saving quite a lot of money. So as soon as this breaks, people are going to want some small luxuries. So if you can offer them, more expensive services to kind of catch up, they're going to be catching up on their beauty, right? And then lastly, people really want to be self-reliant. They want to learn to be self-reliant during these times. So if you can, you can help people, right now, there are ways to sell beauty products and beauty services. Train people, train your students to do things for themselves at home, maybe small things. So those are the 4 big things. People look to hold on to their stuff, but man, it creates a backlog. It creates back pressure. If you think every woman I know, Irina, you're in the microblading business. Every woman in the world that has microblading, right, which is like all of them now, or a lot of them, right? They're all gonna they're gonna need touch-ups. They're gonna have fadings that happen over this time, and they're gonna be flooding these shops. And the people who know how to do this stuff are gonna make a lot of money. I really think prices will be at a premium for at least a while when the market comes back. So if you've got those additional skills, use them. Secondly, so those are the 4 things. The thing that I also see people in crisis like this, they really want support groups. They want to talk to one another. And if you've got a customer list or a Facebook list or an Instagram list of your clients that you've had in the past, or even your friends that might be your potential clients, hosting things like this, like Irina's doing for the beauty industry overall, can be done for very small groups, 10, 12 people, 10 people, 15, 20 people of your own customer base. Call them up and do a call of here are 5 beauty things that you can do at home while you can't go to the salon. Here are 5 tricks or hacks I want to show you. And just be in communication with them. Let them talk about where they are. The conversation might go all over the place, and that's okay. Here's the thing. There's something I call tragic crisis syndrome. There's another name for it, but I can't think of what it is. So I just made up my own. But people who go through tragedy together are bonded together forever. So if you want to get the closest to your audience right now, get in front of them, talk to them, get them on a Zoom call, get them on video, get them on Skype, get them on Facebook call, whatever you got to do talk to your clients right now, because your competitors are frozen. Your competitors are frozen. They're not talking to their clients. Their clients feel abandoned. Talk to them. Just say, hey, if you want to, I know you can't come in right now. Do you want me to help you with some beauty stuff online? I'm glad to do it. It's free. Don't charge any money for it. Just build some goodwill and get that back pressure. You want to be top of mind to people when they do get out of the house and they come back, right? You may even, that leads into my next step of leadership. People are looking for leadership right now. They're looking for connectivity. They're looking for support, and they're looking for leadership. And if you've got, if you're a strong leader who can get in front of this thing, people will see you as an innovator. It's pretty funny. There's a lot of people that are pivoting. You see people pivoting right now. One of my friends here owns a restaurant downtown called Marrakesh. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, so entertainment capital of the world. And he owns a restaurant called Marrakesh. It's a belly dancing restaurant. It's really cool. It's an experience restaurant. Well, all restaurants are closed, and when they come back, his will probably be one of the longest ones to stay out. But he immediately pivoted his business, and he had a channel for restaurant supplies. So he bought tons and tons of meat, frozen meat, chicken, beef, rice, beans, all this stuff, even toilet paper, paper products. And he's running delivery of food services out of his restaurant. Instead of delivering meals, he's delivering bulk packages of meat, chicken, all the things that are necessary. He buys from the restaurant supply in bulk and sells in bulk via Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. And he's even got a lot of press from it. Really cool business innovator, because all of his employees are working. He hasn't laid off anybody yet. His building rent is being paid. He's not taking a paycheck himself right now, but that's okay. He's keeping his business afloat. And people who get delivery from Marrakesh, I believe, and they got food stocked in their pantry and help because of him, and they got toilet paper to wipe their booties with, they're going to remember him. They're going to remember them when it comes around time and things are good again. It's time to go to a restaurant. That's that good dude that did food delivery during the time. He's a real innovator. It's weird how people think, but I really think that they'll smile fondly on him. And he's gotten a lot of press from it. He's been on television here, local television here, and gotten a lot of press from it. I know people who are, teaching tennis classes online in their living room, teaching people how to clear off a wall and practice your tennis against a wall in your house, and most people are doing this they're not trying to make money from it right now. They're trying to do it to establish goodwill, because this is a great time to build an audience. It's not a great time to go sell a lot of stuff. It's a great time to build an audience. It's a great time to train. It's a great time to plan and hone your skills so that you can come out the other side of this much, much, much better positioned than before. And one of the best questions I ask clients when I get on the phone with them, I say, okay, listen, if you could go back in time 3 months and predict what was going to happen, other than shorting the stock market, right? What would you have done about your business? And they all have an answer. And then I say, why don't you do that right now? You've got time. The one thing we all have exactly the same amount of is time. That's it. So you've got time right now. How you invest that time will be an absolute determining factor of how well you do when this is all over. If you decide to binge watch Netflix and eat ice cream, you're going to be broken fat. That's just the way that is. If you decide that you're going to hunker down, build your business, set your plans, learn your skills, train, get in front of people, show them that you're a leader, and get prepared, you'll come out of this swinging. And the great news is, guess what? It's not great news. I shouldn't say that. It's not really great news. The great news is a lot of your competitors are going to fail. So the amount of money being spent, while it might be slightly lower or higher, you never really know. As recoveries go, they tend to, the further down the market goes, quickly, the further up that it goes quickly. So you never know. It might spike back quickly, but either way, if there's less money to go around, it's going to be divided between fewer providers. So there's going to be great opportunity for those who can hang and stay the course and improve themselves in a downturn. So, I can see even providing free video services or whatever, showing people how to get by, or providing services to people who can't provide for themselves in this time, helping. I don't know, with personal distancing and things like that, there's only so much we can do from helping people who are challenged. But think about ways you could get press. Pretty interesting. It made national news. There's a place here that a topless bar here, an adult entertainment establishment, that they started a thing called Boober Eats. So again, a really innovative business owner. All the girls that worked in the bar now deliver food to your door. They made drivers, their bouncers and their doormen became drivers. Their kitchen is open. They're making food and delivering it to people who want a little excitement with their delivery. Again, you might like that business, whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, it's an innovative business leader. He's employing his people. He's keeping his economy going. He's keeping his doors open. He's paying his bill. He's not shoving his head between his legs and waiting to see what happens next. The one thing that I really hate to hear from people is, oh, it'll be fine. I'll just wait until it straightens out, and this too will pass. Well, that's just bullshit. It won't exactly pass. Things are not going to be exactly the same. Sorry, someone walked in. So things are not going to be exactly the way that they were. Oh, this my dog's in the background. He's coming to help me. Things aren't going to be exactly the way they were. One thing is for sure, when you go back to the market, right, whatever it is, it may be better, it may be worse, it may be, but it's absolutely going to be different. People are going to have a different way of thinking about things and doing things. So the way that you message to your customers, the way that you manage your customers will change. So be prepared for that change. Don't expect it not to and just to pass. And right now, the last thing I'll say, and then I'm glad to take questions or talk with you, Irene, about anything you want, is, it's okay to be a little afraid right now. It is. I think that people need to be honest with themselves. People have three reactions right now that I see. One, they're terrified. And that's kind of an honest reaction, and I respect it, but you can't let yourself be frozen by it, right? Two, they're in the wait and see state. I think that's an incredibly dangerous position to be in. You can't wait and see. Things are moving, things are fluid. The people who prepare the quickest win, right? So reducing expenses and reducing common everyday expenses, unnecessary expenses are really, really, really important. If you're going to, but don't reduce investment in yourself and investment in what's coming out in the future. I'm buying equipment right now for my manufacturing businesses. I'm buying at pennies on the dollar and stocking it up. Back into that same thing. Hold on, stock up, back up, self-reliant. That's part of my stock up. I'm picking up great employees right now, cherry picking out of my competitors. I'm picking up equipment for pennies on the dollar. I'm stocking up for what's around the corner. Have I cut expenses? You bet. I laid off people. I cut out a building expense. I negotiated a lease down with my landlord to extend and put my payments on the back of my lease. I did a lot of things in a number of my businesses to free up money for me to have a longer ramp to come back up, and for me to invest in the few things that I needed to be able to come out of the gate swinging on the other side. But that fear is okay to have, but people have naked fear. They have stand and wait. And then finally, the last one, I think it's maybe the most dangerous, is I'm going to fake it till I make it. I'm going to pretend like everything's okay. I'm going to laugh in the face of all these people, this ridiculousness that they're doing and all that. It's not ridiculous at all. And I think that those people you're going to look foolish to your audience. People think they're looking strong to their audience. They're actually going to look foolish to their audience. They're going to look like they're non-caring and insensitive. You don't want to commiserate in all the downtroddenness of everything, but you also have to be real about the situation that we're in. We're in a situation that nobody's ever been in before. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. They really don't. I don't, you don't, none of us do. All we can do is prepare the best for whatever may come. But if you're not preparing because you're pretending like you're faking it, right? This is not a good time to fake it till you make it. This is a good time to hunker down, do the shit that needs to be done, pay the price right now to come out of this a winner on the other end, because you'll be one of 2%. Only 2% of people are going to take a proactive approach during this. Only 2%. So you've got to decide, are you going to be the 2%? Or are you going to be the 98% that are sheep or left behind? And that's your opportunity to shine. So take that fear that's inside you and turn it into hunger. Turn it into doing those things that you need to be doing anyway. Just grind it out and say, damn it, I won't be beat. It's okay to be afraid. I promise you, everybody who ever went in the ring with Mike Tyson was scared shitless, right? But eventually somebody beat him. And that's the case. You're going to be scared. That's okay. But turn that scare, that fear into hunger and fire in your belly and come out swinging. And I know Irina's a survivor of a lot of tragedy in her life and always comes out of the other side of it, very, very, very well. So I think she'll provide a lot of good leadership for you if you're in this industry. I don't know the beauty industry, although, obviously it's hard to say that I don't, because I look so beautiful on camera. One would think that I must really know the industry well. I don't, but she's lovely and a very, very, very strong woman. So I'd say anything you can learn from her, follow from her, you take advantage of it. Irina?
Well, thank you so much for the kind words. And I think you really had a good point about, take whatever it takes right now and transform it in hunger and just, conquer the market. Because I think a lot of people right now, because they just give the grants, and I think we start to fall on the, I come from Norway, so we have the government back us up no matter what. We're not going to be in the street. So I feel like people right now, they knew that government is going to cut us a check of $1,000 or something. Everybody's
10,000.
Yeah.
10,000.
10,000. Yeah. But 1,000 for normal people as well, even they don't have already a business. Yeah. So people are focusing on how to actually suck more from the system rather than how can I take advantage and scale it away more than $10,000. Because honestly, those $10,000, if you have a lease and you have 2 employees, they're gone in 2 weeks. Yeah. So that was really insightful on trying to actually focus on how to be hungry and how to stock up and how to get people to still be on the board.
A great example, a really great example, this government money that people are going to get, and some people are going to get this government money. A great example, I invest in businesses all the time, and I'll go talk to a business. They'll say, hey, I need 50 grand, or I need 100 grand, or whatever is what I'm looking for an investment to buy part of my business. I'm like, what are you going to do with the money? Well, I'm going to pay all these bills. I have no interest in investing in that company. I'd rather leave the bills out there, let them hang, take the money that I'm going to invest and put it into marketing or put it into advertising or put it into training to figure out how I'm going to make more money to get out of the problem. Most people will take this money they're going to get from the government and they're going to treat a symptom to a disease. They're not going to treat the disease. They're just going to treat the symptom. Well, I'm going to go pay my bills. I'm going to do this so I can get some relief and pressure off me mentally. Don't take the pressure off you mentally. Leave it there. That mental pressure is your freaking weapon. That's what you should use right now to fire your hungry, fire your strength, and keep you working. I'm not being braggadocious. I'm a millionaire. I'm a multimillionaire with a beautiful home and a freaking Rolls Royce. And I'm working 18 hours a day right now because I know that this is the opportunity. This is the time that I can beat the snot out of my competitors right now. I have an advantage over all the big guys who are fat and happy and sloppy, right? They're fat, happy, sloppy. They got a big war chest. They got a big bank credit line. They're going to wait it out. We're just going to wait it out because we can do that. I'm not going to wait it out. What's he doing back there? He's sniffing. So that's Porky, by the way. Porky rules the home. But anyway, but yeah, this is a chance for you to leapfrog your competitor. If your competitor's not doing lives with their audiences right now, if your competitors, and if you're, if nothing else, if you're a student and you haven't started your business yet, go get in some groups, answer questions for people, help other people, and assume a leadership position there. You never know how that's going to help you moving forward. There's just so much to learn, and people are looking for real experts again. They really, really, really are. So be the expert. Help people now while you can. Prepare yourself and come out of this thing like a boss.
Thank you for that. I also, as bad as it sounds, like, how would you crush your next competitor and take advantage of the fact that they're going to be out of the business? This is a reality, and we know that after this crisis, a lot of people will be out of the business. How would you advise people that they are already salon owners to take advantage and actually acquire those customers? Maybe they can go and make a small offer to those people, be like, hey, I'm going to buy you out, or like, I know you love to buy out people.
I do. Yeah. It's a really good time for acquisition right now. I think it probably hasn't sunk in quite yet. I think we got maybe 20 to 30 more days to go before rents accumulate. Some people are they're not gonna pivot, or they're not gonna make the cuts necessary. I mean, I read one of my favorite business leaders is a guy named Ray Dalio. He started the biggest hedge fund in the world. And he says that in a crisis, expenses always fall slower than revenue. Revenue falls fast, expenses fall slow. So people who are slow to move, slow to cut expenses, and slow to pivot lose. People who cut expenses quickly and are quick to pivot win. And at the end of the day, when the dollar amount comes back, the thing is, there's a certain amount of money in the world. There's a certain amount of money in America. The money always flows in the exact amount. It doesn't matter. It just flows to different places, to different people at different times. So if these guys, if you're in the eyelash business or the eyebrow business or the hair business or the facial business or whatever, if people don't spend a lot of money on that thing when we return, just remember this: a lot of the businesses won't return. So the competition level goes down. If you had 10 salons in town and everybody was spending $100,000 a week on eye stuff, and you had 10 salons, well, every salon's getting 10 grand. You're going to come back. They may only be spending 50,000, but there may only be 3 salons left. So those salons that are out there, or maybe you open a new one, right? I'm opening businesses right now. I launched 3 businesses this past 10 days that serve this particular market where it sits right now, because I know that in some of those cases, the competitors are frozen. They've shut down. We've shut down our offices for how long? Great. Shut down your office. I'm sitting in my office, which is now my basement, right? Doing business globally. I'm doing business in 4 continents right now from this webcam and this screen, talking to people just like you guys all day long. So I can do business. I'll adapt. They're not going to adapt. Most people won't adapt. There's a great little bitty book called Who Moved My Cheese? And it's a story about 2 mice that live in a maze, and they run out of cheese one day, and it's about adapting. And one mouse immediately adapts, and one mouse sits and waits for the cheese to come back. Cheese isn't coming back, folks. There's new cheese out there that's way better, but the old cheese likely is not coming back. And regulations are being lifted right now during this crisis. Really cool part that nobody talks about. A lot of regulations, state and federal, are being lifted. You may be able to provide more mobile services. You may be able to do all sorts of things that you couldn't do before. And right now, I don't think I'm not going to advise you to do anything you shouldn't do, but I think if you're new to this business, providing services for your friends and your family and the people that you're close to already, learning your trade, I think it's great. I mean, it's great. And the new social media platforms right now, if you've done any work before and you can share it on social, photos or videos, social's up 40%. TikTok, the little video application, is up, I don't know, 11,000% this year or some craziness like that. My kid did a video the other day of his friend and a girlfriend were over here laying on a beanbag chair for a 15-second video, and it got 1.3 million views. My kid on his phone. Beauty's so much bigger. If you've got anything you've done in the past, share some of the work that you've done. Share some of the work you just like, whether you've done it or not. Just get people engaged and get them watching you. This is a good time to learn social media platforms, learn customer acquisition, not just learn necessarily how to do a thing, learn how to sell a thing. It's just as important, if not more important. So you can begin building your audience. You come back, boom, you knock somebody out of the saddle. You're going to be as poor or as rich or as unsuccessful or successful as you decide to be when this is all over. If you decide to bust your ass right now and give it 1,000% of what you got, you're going to come out winning. If you decide to ignore it and wait till it's all good again, you're going to come out a loser. And that's just the truth of that. And there's no way around it. Do you have any questions, Ariana?
Yeah, guys, by the way, if you want to post comments, I can't follow all the platforms where we are streaming. So just want to make sure that you're joining our group and you're posting exactly on the post that we pinned in the announcements. Over there, I'm going to take the questions, or on the YouTube channel directly. I see there are a lot of people watching all over. So I just want to make sure that I don't miss any questions. And yeah, about TikTok, I've actually seen a video interview a few days ago, and I downloaded a TikTok, and I think I wanted to do it for a year, but I guess I got comfortable and I didn't pay attention to it. And of course, you didn't have like the knife in the neck to be desperate to try something new.
Yeah, this is great. You got the knife in the neck right now. Like you said, that's it. It's a great, use that energy.
Knife in the neck. 40,000 views in 4 days for a stupid video with Summer jumping in the pool. Like, it's crazy how much engagement you could just like get for free, especially if you have like nice videos with your previous eyebrows customers, a good testimonial. You could get views in no time.
Demo on your sister-in-law and put it on camera, do a little sped up video or whatever, or your brother-in-law, depend on how your family rolls.
I guess it's just get creative. And I think I've seen in your wall a few days ago, you post something and it was so powerful for me. It was like, pivot, don't pause. Like you were saying about the pretty girls like delivering food with their boobs naked. I don't know, whatever is relevant for your market.
Yeah.
Like pivot.
The market is hungry for certain things right now. Guys at home eating pizza are hungry for boobies. Good for them. People are hungry for frozen chicken. Some people are hungry for frozen chicken, literally hungry. The market's hungry for certain things. Social interactions like this, Zoom calls and live streaming lives. Anybody can do this now. It costs $0 to go live on Facebook. You got a bunch of friends on Facebook, go live on Facebook, talk to your freaking friends. They'll share it with their friends. At least, I would say a lot of people you probably got lots of friends on Facebook, don't know what you do. They have no idea what business you're in or what business you're going in. So let them know, at the very least, your friends will know the business that you're in, and they'll think of you in advertising, we call it top of mind. So if you can be top of mind for people, I'm going to get so-and-so done. I forgot Irina. I just saw the other day, Irina does that. I didn't know she did that. So now you've got, you're beginning to build a base that you can cultivate and nurture so that you've got a client base when you come out of all this. And if all the competitors are there, right, and you have more awareness than they do, you still win, right? So assuming some competitors go away and assuming you get top of mind awareness, you come out as the leader. I mean, you come as the absolute leader,
I do believe that also. I think as much as people are hungry for some things that they are now, by example, people get bored and all that, I think the entire market, all the women are like so hungry on like consuming beauty services. Like I haven't done, I ripped my nails with my teeth. Like it was so bad. Like I think we're so hungry to, go get our eyebrows done and my nails.
Knowing that somebody on this call hasn't washed her own hair in about 4 years, she always goes to the blowout bar. You got to be dying right now. How are you
I'm actually washing my hair, almost every day, and it's probably I will die to go to dry bar to my. You see, I'm the pure example of somebody consuming so much the beauty services. Think your customers, guys, are.
I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see waiting lines as soon as
Exactly.
things open. I think you're going to see lines and appointments booked 2, 3, 4 weeks out. So your industry, while challenging at the moment, just pinch your pennies for a minute, learn some new skills so you can sell. So you're going to get this big influx of traffic, right? So what do you want when you get a big influx of traffic? Do you want to sell them the same thing you've been selling them? You sell them a $20 or $30 service, or would you rather sell them a $100, $200, $300 service? They're going to be hungry with money in their pocket. So now's your time to get proficient and professional at a new skill, and be willing to come out of the gate swinging.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think like once this will over, like all the women's, the market will be like so busy, because every single female I'm interacting with, we have the same complaints. I haven't done my nails. I read my nails. I see nails challenges, hair challenge, eyebrow. Like I haven't tweezed my eyebrow in like 2 months. So I think, yeah, like they will. I think as long as like they survive right now and they keep calm and they don't take it as a holiday and like learn a new skill and maybe improve the customer service, I think the market will be like good.
Yeah, just communicate with your customers during all this. Send them a newsletter. Talk about what you're doing. Show yourself, washing the dog in the bathtub. Show like you in summer at the pool, whatever. Show people what you're doing. Just show them your lifestyle. You don't have to talk to them about beauty. Just remind them that you're there and that you're there with them. There is this thing, like I was saying before, this a traumatic crisis syndrome. We're going to remember the people that I do these calls, like Irina. I have nothing to do with the beauty industry, really. I'm a marketing guy, right? But Irina and I've worked together on some projects before. But I'm doing these right now. I'm doing as many of these calls as I can because I want to get in front of as many audiences as I can, so that maybe someday you're going to think, man, I really need some marketing help, or I really need to learn more about marketing. I remember that guy that was on that call with Irina. He was pretty good, and we're not talking much about marketing right now, right? So that it doesn't matter that the subject has to be there. It's just that, you know me now, you know what I do. And when you're thinking one day, hey, I need marketing advice or marketing training, or I want to sell my business, or I want to buy a business, who can I get to? Remember that guy? I remember that guy. And you're going to remember people that you meet during this era more than you remember people normally. It just is true. War buddies remember themselves. Holocaust survivors are super bound. Anybody that's been through crisis together, people that play pro sports, because it's almost like a crisis. You remember because you're in pain and it's so tough and whatever. You remember your teammates for the rest of your life. And those are just, I can remember all the people that were in my 4th grade Mrs. White's English class, because she was such a bitch. We went through trauma together with her. So that's how I made the best friends I made in elementary school, was because we had such a horrid teacher that we all went through that trauma together. So we became friends, and I'm still friends with a lot of those people many, many, many years later. So anyway, sorry, Mrs. Wyatt.
No, you're doing great. I think like by us being united, like together, and actually keeping calm rather than panicking and falling in all the social media like crap, or like panicking people and it's gonna be the end of the world. I think that's like not helpful for anyone. I think we should be like really strategic and think how we can take advantage of the opportunity, because as you said, this is a one time in a life opportunity. Either like go big or just go home. Like if you don't make it now,
tuck your tail and go work at Walmart. Yeah, that's fine. It's like my daddy said, world needs ditch diggers too, son.
Yeah. I feel like
that's mean.
Yeah.
But get a job at Walmart. If you don't want the risk of this, if you don't want to make better money, if you don't want to make a better life for yourself. And you know what? This not only, here's the fear of the fake or the I'll wait. It's not just you that you're making that decision for. It's for the people that you support, right? Your family, your children, the household unit, your spouse, your parents that may need help. And it's also about the people that you serve, your clients or your potential clients. Are you going to lay down on them? Or are you not going to talk to them? If you don't talk to me right now during all this stuff, when everything's better, I don't really want to talk to you. You know, I assume that you're a fair weather friend. So, it's better right now. Talk to your audience and show them that you're there for them. I'm a firm believer in calling 3 to 5 people a day right now, just that are your friends, your contacts. Just ask them how they are. Just do that. 3 to 5 a day. Nobody's busy right now. Your schedule is not that tight because it's every day, as somebody said, every day is a weekend to me the other day. And I said, no day is a weekend right now. There are no weekends. I'm jamming it on Saturday. I'm jamming it on Sunday. Yeah, I told my team last week, I said, the new company policy is if you don't come in on Saturday, don't bother showing up on Sunday. I mean, we are absolutely at war right now. We've brought in the mattresses, as they said in The Godfather. We're sleeping when we need to sleep, but we're working all the rest of the time, but we're gaining market share. And you can do the same.
I think in the top of gaining the market share and actually working, I think the fact that you provide so much value and you help a lot of people on their journey, I think that's really amazing. Thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
Because I know you're closing deals for like $10 million plus, and some of the musicians might make it to that level, but not many. And I know that the fact that you just come here and share your knowledge and help them and support them on their, struggle, I think is pretty amazing. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're more than welcome. There is a lot of federal help for your guys right now, and I'm sure that you'll do some training about how to get that federal help. Any independent contractor right now is due $10,000 from the government. But there's only a certain amount of those grants available. You don't have to pay it back. But I would say when you get that money, invest it in yourself, invest it in your future, invest it in increasing your ramp. Don't go buy from the 80% off sale at the freaking Nordstrom rack with that money. You need to invest that money to hold you out and to prepare you, position you. It's all about positioning right now. You need to position yourself for the whipsaw that's going to happen at the end of all this. And it will be a whipsaw, and most people will not be prepared. And that's where you really stockpile and make up for any loss that you've had plus. But if you don't prepare, you'll just have to eat the loss and deal with it. It's like dead money, right? Whatever you lost will just be gone, and you'll go back to a slow environment, and you're going to continue to bleed out for a little while until things get back to normal, which could be anywhere from 9 to 18 months. So if you reposition right now, you could be better than normal in, 30 to 60 days, or you can be, worse than normal for the next 9 to 18 months. It all depends on what you do right now. Right now is the time to decide, am I going to be a sheep or am I going to be a lion? And man, everybody wants to be a lion till it comes time to do lion shit, right? They have to, if you're going to be a lion in the market, you got to take it by the horns right now and just do everything that you got to do and grind out while all your friends are screwing off thinking they're on vacation.
And also, if you decide to be the leader on your community, it's so important to support people because you're relying on your community. Your next door girl come to fix her eyebrows or your nails to you. So I think it's so important to support your community and give back as much as you can, and do not, rather than take advantage of people right now and like try to, I think supporting them as much as you can because they need your help. You're on this conference because you need our help. Just make sure that you're giving other people that they need their help and the support that them or their family, they might need it.
We did a group. I know you've got your group. We did a group called Business Survival on Facebook. I'm not making any money from that group. You're not making any money doing these things. I know that. But if you don't support your community right now, whether it be big or small, you shouldn't expect them to support you when you go back to your business.
I totally agree that. I think what you give is what you actually get back, and your customers will see that when they, when everything is going to get back to normal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We're gonna wrap out here. Unless you have anything else to say to our audience. Thank you again. Thank you so much, Mr. Belcher.
Thanks.
And also,
see ya.
Bye.
Absolutely. Anytime. Bye, hon.